The world's largest international naval drill is now underway in Hawaii. The rim of the Pacific exercises are particularly significant this year because China is participating for the very first time. It's joining 22 other nations for drills at Pearl Harbor. CCTV's Nathan King has the latest from Honolulu.
We are outside the historic Pearl Harbor Naval Base, normally home to the U.S. Pacific Fleet. But for the next few weeks, 22 nations participating in the Rim of the Pacific exercises, not least China here for the first time. And it sent some top-of-the-line ships, four including the missile destroyer Haikao. It is armed with Aegis-style missiles, which compete with U.S. technology, but also 360-degree radar. There is also a frigate, which is also armed. We have a hospital ship, which will concentrate on humanitarian and disaster relief, the Peace Ark, as well as a supply ship, one of the main contributors here. There has been some criticism here in the U.S. about inviting China at a time of differences between the U.S. and China over the East and South China Seas. There's also been some criticism about China showing off Chinese technology under the eyes of the Americans. But this is really about cooperation, not competition. There is a lot that unites the navies of the Pacific Rim and elsewhere, including preparing for humanitarian disaster relief, keeping the sea lanes open, free from piracy. All these things the Chinese have been involved in with the United Nations, and there is a feeling here among the Americans that they want China to participate more on a global stage with its navies. It's also a chance to build trust. Remember, these exercises don't happen overnight, and with 1,100 sailors and officers, the Chinese are one of the largest contingents. They'll get to know a lot of their American counterparts. They've already had sporting games with each other as well. And the feeling is, despite the distrust when it comes to strategics in the East and South China Sea, there can be a building of cooperation and more lines of communication, not just at the top level, but at the lower ranks as well. Historically, RIMPAC has been seen as not involving the Chinese. There has been some criticisms in Beijing that it was part of a U.S. containment strategy, but by inviting China in, the U.S. hopes to build a climate of cooperation as well as the competition that undoubtedly exists. No one thinks that the differences between the U.S. and China can be solved overnight by RIMPAC, but it is another way of forward thinking for the U.S. militaries, whose ties over the last 4 years have deepened and widened despite differences. Nathan King, CCTV, Honolulu, Hawaii.